Hi everyone, it's Melissa from Welcome to the Woods. I'm out here in my garage with a bit of a dilemma. I want to cut a really long bevel at an angle greater than 45 degrees. Now, I know I can't do that on my table saw, and everything I found online shows basically doing that as a cross cut, like on a 2x4. That's not what I'm working with. I'm working with 3/4 inch plywood, so I have to get creative. I'm going to try using my circular saw, and this can go up to 50 degrees, but what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to add a piece onto the plate in order to increase the angle that I'm able to cut. So we're going to see how it goes. The angle I want to cut is 60 degrees. So instead of doing 50 and cutting 10, I'm going to do 45 and cut 15. Those two together equal 60 degrees. So I have to move the bevel on my table saw to 15 degrees, right there. And I'm going to lift my saw blade up. I lift my saw blade all the way up, and I'm going to cut a sliver of wood off a 2x4 that I can attach to the plate on my circular saw. All right, so now our circular saw is set to a 45-degree angle. I still need it further. I'm going to attach the shim to the faceplate by first putting down painter's tape. Painter's tape is going to protect my metal plate from getting glue on it. And I honestly don't even know if hot glue would stick to metal very well. So the tape's going on, and then we're going to hot glue the wood onto this tape. Just like that. We'll see if this works. I didn't see anybody do anything like this online, so I'm like just making it up as I go. Well, it looks like a sharper angle to me. We'll see. Alrighty, first I'm gonna lay my board down on this foam. Foam's just gonna help my saw blade not cut into anything, as well as support the whole piece of plywood. Works really great. Next, I'm gonna install this handy little guide onto my circular saw that can hold it against the edge of the plywood and keep it straight. But I'm missing the set screw, so I gotta find that quick. Hang on. Okay, so right before I started, I realized I have a problem. My edge guide is not gonna work with this because it is down further than 3/4 inches. So I have two options. I can either lift up the whole sheet and it won't fully be supported, or I can do a different edge guide. I think I'm gonna do a different edge guide. Sometimes filming, you just have to laugh. I cut it, and I looked at my camera and realized I forgot to press record. Forgot to press record. So I'm gonna just redo the process because it worked. It worked, I did it. All right, so here's what we got going on. I got a straight piece of plywood, and I'm gonna tape it down as my saw guide. And I'm gonna make sure I'm using fresh tape so it has a lot of gripping power. I measured that my saw blade at that angle comes out about 3.5 inches. Okay, so I'm measuring 3.5 inches from my straight edge and taping it down to the piece. The reason I'm cutting it right on the edges, I don't want to take any more material off of my piece of plywood, so that means I'm going to have to support my plate another way. So I'm going to just add another piece of 3/4 inch thick lumber next to it to help support the plate on my circular saw. Okay, so let's do this. Oh my gosh, it looks amazing. Okay, this is the one that I cut off originally when I wasn't filming. Look at that angle. And I'm gonna prove to you that it's well, I mean, I guess I can't really prove it's 60 degrees of the square. I don't know how, but I can prove to you it's bigger than 45. Check this out. Well, I'm glad that I got that figured out, and hopefully the method I showed works for you in your project. If you want to see what I'm doing with these beveled sheets of plywood, what I'm building, then be sure to subscribe to my channel, Welcome to the Woods, so you can find out. Bye-bye.